Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of STSL Off the Track, and it is now week 10, or as we would like to call it, Hot Seat Week, and we'll find out here in just a little bit. But we're gonna go on and start off with the usual co-hosts, starting off with Dorsey.
Yes, fine. Already the 10th week of the this season, this year already, and there's a lot of things to talk about with Moss Jam and the independent stuff.
And then also with us, back here again is Nofagen.
That's right. Glad to be back here. And like Dorsey said, a lot of stuff happened over the past weekend and a lot of stuff happening this weekend as well. And can't wait to talk about it.
So, like usually, we're gonna start off with another news, which actually will start off with the outside stuff. Starting off, NASCAR had their race this last Sunday in Phoenix, and your winner was Christopher Bell in the number 20. Their upcoming race is in Bristol, and then we also had some other news. Oh, okay, this one's gonna be WWE news. I'm actually gonna bring up with Dorsey. So lately, The Rock has been cooking Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes' latest promo this last Monday. It was a heartfelt segment, but The Rock just this last night or last Friday, this past Friday, absolutely keeps cooking him and Seth Rollins. So Dorsey, what do you think about this leading up to the tag team match and the day two match?
I don't know. I think they're leading up to something big in this for this WrestleMania. Either it's going to be a turn from The Rock, but man, The Rock completely cooked Cody's family in that promo last night, especially his mom. But overall, I this is looking up to be one of like the greatest WrestleManias if they can book this correctly.
Right, and another thing is that this last Monday on Monday Night Raw, uh, they had a gauntlet match. I okay, it's basically like it's six superstars, two. I don't know. It's weird, but the winner of that was Sami Zayn, and he will go on to face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Now, did you hope for Chad Gable to win that, or did you actually hope for someone else, or was it Sami Zayn?
I was kind of hoping for Chad Gable to pull it off. I think Sammy was the bigger name in that match, so I guess why they did that because you had guys like JD McDonough, Ricochet, Bronson Reed, and I'm like, you can tell that those guys won't be winning, but of course, the last two guys in there was Chad Gable and Sami Zayn, but I feel like they're gonna pull something off and they're gonna add Chad Gable into the match.
Right. And now another thing I did actually want to bring up that we didn't bring up last week was that Logan Paul and KSI, uh, big social media influencers, announced that Prime will be an official partnership, and it'll be on the fuck. It'll be on. I almost cursed right there. It'll be on the Canva, starting WrestleMania and on. So, what do you think of that announcement?
Yeah, I think it makes sense because Logan Paul's been with WWE for what the last two WrestleManias now, which is hard to believe. I believe, this is his third one coming up, and they announced yesterday that he'll be defending the U.S. champion in a triple threat match between Kevin Owens once again and Randy Orton. I'm looking forward to that match. I think that match is going to deliver really good. But yeah, just overall, it makes sense. They're doing it, and they're probably going to do something big with Prime during that U.S. title match.
Right. And that is probably as much as wrestling news I have so far. The Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth promos are looking fire. And like I said earlier, Rock is absolutely roasting Cody. But other than that, now we'll move on to some monster truck news, and we have quite a lot actually. So starting off, we had a new paint scheme from Tim Jones for the tailgater just this weekend in Louisiana. And that is for, and actually, let me bring it up. So I actually want to pass it off to Nofagen. Did you see this Neo Tailgater?
The albino tailgater?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it, and I must say, I love the new paint scheme by Tim Jones, and especially goes cool with the purple beadlocks and the purple lights in the truck. I love it.
Now, Dorsey, your thoughts on the albino tailgater?
Absolutely looks great. We saw a little bit of it in the Monster Machine line, and then it became a reality over this weekend. And Tim Jones is going to rock the house with that. Maybe he'll bring it to Monster Jam this season in quarter 2. We don't know yet.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. Little sad I won't get to see the original colors of Tailgater with the green and purple, but I do like the white, and I actually kind of hope to see this in Loveland in a couple weeks. Um, Now the other news I have here, as I look over in just a moment, Pat Gerber's shocker returns. Now I'm start off with Nafagen. Your thoughts?
It's pretty cool to see him back in the business and cool to see Shocker back in the truck. I know it's been on hiatus for a while, but great to see it back in the monster truck scene.
And Dorsey, your thoughts on Shocker's return?
Yeah, I don't remember where Shocker is this weekend, but it's cool to see one of these trucks return again. Shocker's been around for quite a while, long time, and seeing the truck back is a cool sight to see it once again.
Right? And so we'll go. Actually, we'll talk about a couple more things here. Mostly Monster Jam stuff because quite a lot has happened. We had a couple. So this season entirely, we had a couple of fill-ins, a couple of people leave due to injury, like Tom Entz and Jamie Sullivan, who actually got to return. Not Tom Entz though, unfortunately, but Colton Eichelberger did return. Now we'll talk about this guy right here, Dorsey. You found out just yesterday morning what happened to this particular man.
With what, Colton?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just completely removed from the website. He's just gone. No more Colton on. No more. His driver card's gone, and he's also taken out of the lineup.
And not only that, you also kind of pointed out that Brandy Brown was also out, right?
Oh yeah, Randy Brown was also gone, which is sad to see. But for some reason, Brandon Vincent is still there, so I don't know what's going on with that.
Right. And then Nafajan, your thoughts on Colton and Randy Brown being gone from the website now?
Well, I'm not really surprised with Randy Brown because he hasn't really been active for a while in terms of like competitive appearances and stuff like that. But Colin Eichelberger, especially, who knows what's happening behind the scenes. Hope he's doing all right. But it's just been a weird situation this year with Max D, with going from Tom Ince, and he got injured, and then Colton taking over, Blake Granger for a few shows, and then a new driver taking over for Max D, which we'll get to in a sec.
Right. And then we had a couple more fillings. For the last 2 weeks in Arlington and El Paso, Adam Anderson had been gone for quite a while, and Charlie Pocken took over at Gravedigger 35 for those shows. Now for this weekend, they are in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which we'll go over next weekend. But for this weekend, Ryan Anderson, his brother, takes over the driving duties of Gravedigger, which is the first time since Philadelphia 2019. Um, and now I've seen the clip so far of Ryan's freestyles in Albuquerque, and it is quite a decently big arena. It's not like Tacoma big. It is kind of decently big. I would The one thing I'm seeing here is that he's struggling to get around, especially since he's getting stuck in between trucks. And it's even weirder because back then they used to keep the trucks outside, and now they're keeping the trucks inside for some sort of reason. Uh, but I'll start off with Noffigan. Your thoughts on Ryan taking over?
It is very weird just seeing Ryan Anderson in a Gravedigger truck. I know he's made only one competitive appearance prior to this one in the black and green wrecking machine. That was Philly 2019. But then he still had his Son of a Digger fire suit on. This time, the same thing. Still has the Son of a Digger fire suit. And hope that Adam Anderson is all right. Hope we get to see him back behind the wheel of Gravedigger soon. But it is cool seeing Ryan get behind the wheel of the truck that his dad created 42 years ago.
Now, Dorsey, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's kind of funny that he's filling in for his brother once again. The same things happening that happened 5 years ago, which hurts to say that 2019 was 5 years ago. Uh, and yeah, just seeing Ryan Anderson in an arena driving Gravedigger is going to be like a once of a kind experience to see.
Right. And then not only that, he's not the only Gravedigger sub we have here. Actually, we've had a quite a plenty of Gravedigger subs this season alone. Next up, Tyler Meninga. He has an off weekend with Stadium East. Now he goes over to Arena West and drives for Matt Cody, who Matt Cody will be driving Costa Rica this weekend for also Gravedigger. Now Tyler Meninga is driving Gravedigger, like I said, in Fresno this weekend. So your guys' thoughts on this? Starting of Nofagen.
It's cool to see Tyler Meninga back to his roots. He started off in the arena setting in Blue Thunder several years ago, and his career took off in the Triple Threat Series when he was driving Gravedigger for those years. Still in Gravedigger now, obviously. Even though it's for a few events, because Stadium Series East will be back in 3 weeks or so. But it's cool seeing Tyler Meninga back in the arena setting.
And now, Dorsey, your thoughts on Tyler Meninga?
Tyler Meninga in an arena. That's it.
All right, now we got to talk about the more exciting news here. So this involves 3 drivers and 2 trucks. Starting off with Max D for Stadium East. Now, like we said, Colton Eichelberger is now out of the picture, and Blake Ranger is still going to be driving Max D from time to time, but he's now going to be doing the internationals. But he will be driving Max D in Hartford. But however, for the first time ever, we had a new driver for Max D since 2022, and that is Cody Saucier. And that actually got me excited. I just saw this guy last year drive 2 different identities. One at World Finals Dealer in Denver for Stadium, I believe Blue A was. And Cody Saucier is a really great driver, and I can't wait to see if he bumps up some points for Max D. I'll start off with Dorsey. Your thoughts?
Man, what a great pick to be the next villain for Max D. Out of anyone in the arenas, he was definitely the right choice. He's definitely, out of every company driver in the arenas, he's the veteran out of everyone in there. So seeing Cody back in the stadiums once again for the rest of the season is going to be something great to see once again. And Tyler's going to have a lot of competition in racing now with him being in that tour.
And then Nofagin, your thoughts on this?
Cody Sauce. I'm excited to see him, mate. Like Dorsey said, he's a phenomenal racer, and I miss Cody being in the stadium settings. I know I made a couple of appearances over the last few years, but only as fill-ins, and now he's only in arenas. But I cannot wait to see Cody Saucier tear it up on the stadiums.
Now we can't forget to mention the truck that Cody is currently driving in Arena East, and that is Dragon. Now we're gonna also have 2 different drivers fill in, and that's starting off with Joe Dennis. Oh my God, we're back, baby! What do you guys think?
Chad Tingler's about to make a comeback for 4th place.
All right, then, Nofagin, your thoughts?
For Joe Dennis, I'm glad he's getting another chance, getting to compete behind Dragon for a few shows. And then Tony Oaks as well. It's weird seeing him being in Dragon. And I'm used to seeing him in Soldier Fortune Black Ops or surprisingly Thunder Roars, but it'll be cool seeing him behind the wheel of Dragon for a few events as well.
And now they do have select shows here. Joe Dennis will be driving Dragon in Greenville, South Carolina, North Charleston, South Carolina, and Colorado Springs, Colorado, which is the same weekend as Denver Stadium East. And I actually might go to pretty much the entire weekend. I'm still figuring that out. For sure, Denver. I do want to make Colorado Springs. And now for Tony Oaks driving Dragon, he will be driving in Huntsville, Alabama, and Salinas, California. And that is the news we have so far for all the things that happened just recently. Now, I do want to talk about the All-Star points. I'll start off with Nafagen. What do you think?
Points for the All-Star Tour?
Yeah.
All right, take a look here. The point standing. So right now, with about 2 weeks left until a champion is crowned, John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity has the lead still with 721 points. And the only man that's closest to him is his papa, John Zimmer Sr. and Upward with 678. Triton Robbins, Crazy Train, is back up to third with 623. His brother, Montana and Playing Crazy, has 583. Colossus, Elliot Miller, with 555 points. Then Little Miss Dangerous, Athena Cazell, has 433.
All right, then Dorsey, your thoughts on the championship series for the Monster Mashers All-Star Tour?
Yeah, like what we predicted earlier this season, this was going to be the Send It Motorsports tour, and it seems like that's basically what's going to be happening. I don't know how many shows they have left. Is it the next 2 weekends?
This weekend,
Or
Shelby,
like
and next week is Chattanooga Championship Weekend.
All right, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it's down to between the top two, unless Triton dominates like both weekends. But it's going to be a lot to catch up to Zimmer Jr. here because he's a really good driver, and yeah, I think we're about to see Zimmer or Zimmer. I'm going to bet my money on Zimmer taking the championship.
All right,
I
now
think it's going to be somebody with the first name John.
Yeah, I agree.
No. All right, and that is all the news we had this last week. And now we'll get to the shows we had this past weekend. Starting off with the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live in New Orleans, Louisiana, Council Bluffs, Iowa, and Malaga, Spain. We had the Monster X Tour in Tuscumbia, I believe that's how it's pronounced, Tuscumbia, Alabama. Your lineup included Boss Gator being driven by Austin Spence and Brian Cadigan, Monster Patrol with Ashton Torgerson, Quadded Chaos with Byron Cadigan as well, and Rampage with Tommy Veralone. For Monster Truck Thunder, we had in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and it was quite the scene. It was quite the arena, actually. Your lineup included Excavator, driven by Gage Bursey, Higher Education by Chris DeHoyos, Illuminator Corey Snyder, Overkill Evolution with Mikey Waters, Taurus, Steve Thompson, Toxic with Travis Mowry. I swear this man drives like on and off, but cool to see him back. War Wizard with RG Turner, and then we had the 2X Monster Trucks Live Tour in Andalusia, Alabama. Same lineup as always. Monster Truck Wars in Henderson, Texas. Your lineup included Outlaw, driven by Preston Collins, Predator with Alan Pizzo, Sheriff with Adam Wilson, and T-Rex with Devin Jones. And we also had the Full Throttle Tour in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Your lineup included American Scout by Colton Kaiser, Bigfoot 4x4x4, Roger Gager, Bugzilla with Randy Barton, Country Strong with Eric Howe, Funky Monkey, oh my god, I'm losing words here, Jasmine Borders, Ray Besto's Powertrain, Thomas Borders, and Stomper with Dalton. Oh, that's quite the last name, Manskayok. And then Monster Truck Nitro Tour in Lake Charles, Louisiana, including Jeff Murphy driving Fatal Attraction, Tim Hall Jr. Jurassic Attack, Logan Tweedy Kamikaze, Kicking and Screaming Thomas Kimmons, Prime Time with Justin Murphy, and then we had the All Star Monster Truck Tour in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and then we also had the Monster Nation in Beaumont, Texas. Your lineup included Darren Basil with Blockhead, Mark McDonald Dirt Crew, Jack Brown with Dirt Crew Dozer, Travis Groth and Kylie Thurber driving Maximus, Tim Jones driving Tailgater, and Tyler Groff with the Veteran. Now we'll move on to the jam shows we had this past weekend, starting off with Arena West from Vancouver, British Columbia in the Pacific Coliseum for, I believe, 4 shows. Actually, yes, 4 shows. So we'll start off with show 1 Friday night. Your Friday night timed racing winner here was Matt Cody and Gravedigger with a 9.667. And then for the skills competition, it will go to Gravedigger as well. For the wheelie competition, it goes to MJ Solorio and El Toro Loco. But freestyle and the overall will go to Gravedigger, ending the night with 27 points. Now we'll move on to show 2. Your timed racing winner is Dalton Widener and Jurassic Attack with a 9.833. For the skills challenge, it goes to the Knoxville man once again. For the wheelie competition, it goes to Ashley Sanford and Megalodon. Freestyle will go to Megalodon, but the overall will go to Jurassic Attack with 27 points. Now we go on to show 3. And your timed racing winner was Tony Oaks and Thunder Roars. Skills goes to Thunder Roars once again. Really, Thunder Roars. And can you believe it? Thunder Roars sweeps the entire show here, finishing the night with a whopping 32 points. And now for Sunday Show 4, your timed racing winner, it is Tony Oaks and Thunder Roars with 9.417. And for the skills, it will go to Dalton Whitener and Jurassic Attack. Your really competition winner goes to Jurassic Attack. Freestyle will go to MJ Solario and El Toro Loco. But the overall will go to Jurassic Attack, 27 points, just 2 points over Gravedigger. Now we'll move on to the show. And I believe this is a non. Actually, we've had a couple more arena shows. Now we'll move on to Tupelo, Mississippi. And we've had quite the show here. So I'd ask to Nafajan and Dorsey, who would like to take it over?
Let's play rock, paper, scissors.
So do we just say out loud what we pick?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Lane, count us down from 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Paper.
Paper. Damn it. One more time.
3, 2, 1.
Rock.
Scissors. I guess Jeremy is doing it.
Yay. All right. So right here.
I can't believe we just did that.
Yep. You never know what you can get at off the track. So Tupelo, right? Tupelo,
Yeah.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
So a 6-truck lineup here at Tupelo, Mississippi for 3 shows. Starting off with Saturday afternoon, your racing finals. It is Wildside Zach Garner defeating his teammate Chad Tingler in the overboard. Your skills champion is El Toro Loco Armando Castro. Kristen Anderson Gravedigger wins both donuts and freestyle, but by 1 point, it is Castro that wins the first overall championship of the weekend. Saturday night, it is Wildside going 2 for 2 in racing, defeating El Toro Loco. Your skills challenge winner is once again El Toro Loco Armando Castro. Winning freestyle again and donuts is Kristen Anderson Gravedigger, and winning the tiebreaker for the overall event championship. Moving on to Sunday afternoon, your racing winner is. Wait, let me see if I'm looking at this right. Kurt Kramer and the Hot Seat defeating
Let's
Armando
go.
Castro and El Toro Loco. Awesome win for him. Going 3 for 3 in skills, it is Armando Castro, El Toro Loco. Going 3 for 3 in donuts, it is Gravedigger Kristen Anderson. And winning the last freestyle competition of the weekend, as well as overall, is Wildside and Zach Garner.
Now we'll talk about the bigger thing here is Hotzi finally got a Monster Jam win.
Let's get hype. Kurt
Let's
Kramer with a
go,
race and
Kurt.
win.
That was really, really awesome to see. We did not expect that, and out of a racing competition as well. Hotzi, wow. Kurt Kramer, we knew we could do it once we found out that Hotzi won. We were all tagging David because he too was waiting for a competition win, and now like he's saying he's waiting for a backflip out of the same truck.
The day that a Hall Brothers truck does a backflip, the community is going to explode.
And let's just say, Nazi, Kurt Kramer didn't even have a bye. He completely defeated 3 different competitors.
Flat out won every race.
That is right. And now we'll move on to the other show here in Little Rock, Arkansas. And now I'll pass it on to Dorsey.
All right. Little Rock, Arkansas for Arena Central. And my thing is loading. There we go. We had only 2 shows here, so this is going to be nice and easy. Weston Anderson takes home the race and win, beating Fernando Martinez and El Toro Loco. But Fernando Martinez came back and got the skills win. Jamie Sullivan gets the donut win. And then Weston Anderson gets the freestyle with the overall event championship. And the last show of the weekend, Bran Mahan takes home the racing win, which I believe that was her first racing win of this season. Actually, I think that's wrong, but she defeats Alex Barden in Stone Crusher. And then Weston Anderson takes home the skills and the donut win. And Brianna Mahan takes home the freestyle, and she also gets the overall event championship. So one apiece for Weston and one for Brianna Mahan.
Right, and now we'll move on to these stadiums, and I will start off with Jacksonville because what a night they had down there, and as always, Florida weather is really unpredictable or predictable if you actually live there, but they got rained out, and it pushed the start to a whole 2 hour delay. So originally it was going to start at 7 East, and now it started at 9 Eastern, which I believe is the late is the latest start to a show we've ever Monster Jam has ever had. No.
It seems like it,
Definitely
yeah.
up there.
Yeah, so they got rained out pretty heavily for quite a while, but they still went on and threw a mudfest. Now, I did actually want to start off with the one thing here, and that is the racing win. A bit of a controversial one because apparently all of the racing rules flew out of the window, especially when it came to racing, because Gravedigger and Tyler Meninga beat Bryce Kenny and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, but Great Bryce Kenny and the Mohawk Warrior did have all four tires on the ramp. Gravedigger did not. I only had two, and somehow still got the win. And we all called BS on that. Now, Dorsey, how did you feel on that?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what they were looking at. I'm assuming you're talking about the finals of racing. I didn't really hear you that well between Tyler and Bryce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler completely missed the ramp, and they still gave him the race and win, even though Bryce perfectly hit the ramp. I don't know. It's just getting dumb. Bryce 100% should have gotten that race and win.
And then, Nafajan, your thoughts on that final win, on the finals racing?
Yeah, that was just a very, very bad call. I mean, he did miss the ramp by a long shot, and I guess the problem could have been that they were looking about the angle that they were looking at on the replay. Well, that's why it is important to have different cameras around the stadium if that was the case. But yeah, Tyler's tires on the right side were on the ground while the other two were on the ramp. So it is obvious that Tyler missed a ramp, but I guess they weren't looking at the right thing and Bill gave the win to him, but hopefully they do fix that in the future because that was not a good call.
That is right. And now we'll move on to the skills challenge win. And it'll go to Blake Granger and Max D. And sadly enough, he has got more wins than Colton Eichelberger did in 3 weeks. And he got one in the Mudfest. And we'll talk about that special skills. I don't know if it was 2 hit or 1 hit. I didn't really get to watch the shows that people put up. But this awesome, crazy move that we saw in Jacksonville, he went up the center ramp, tried going for like a stoppie, but since the mud is like really, it was just really slick out there. It caused it to keep rolling forward, and eventually crashed it. But that was enough to take the skills win. What did you think, Nafajan?
About the skills competition or freestyle, all of it?
We get skills first. Skills first.
Skills, the drivers were all doing their best to do whatever tricks they can in the mud, and it was definitely not easy. Usually I thought they were just going to cancel skills altogether and do like a donut competition or something like that, but no, they did everything they can. Tristan England did good on skills. Blake Granger did some crazy stuff, and just doing the best they can out of a muddy track.
Now, Dorsey, what do you think on Blake's skills run?
Yeah, it was definitely a wild ride. He tried to get the stoppie completely with the mud, of course, wipes it out. but it was definitely the best skills run that they had with the limited things that they can do because of the mud, and 100% deserve that win.
Right on. And now we'll go on to the freestyle win. And this one will go to Toddler Duke and Megalodon. Uh, now, I believe, was it the week before people were just talking about Toddler Duke? Was that right, Dorsey?
Yeah, something about that.
No, he did. He proved them wrong because he got a win here in the Mudfest in Jacksonville. Not much is shown actually, other than that actually. Um, that's pretty much as far as I know. Tyler Meninga did have a crazy moment in freestyle where he tried going up the 8-pack. It failed and basically just got him into a huge sky wheelie and basically wrecked the entire back end of the body. But Tyler Duke won freestyle, which is very awesome. Actually, very cool because Todd really needs the win for the points. Um, and actually talk about the APAC. Toddler Duke did get that APAC. Blake Granger's Max D backflip overturned just a little bit too much. John Gordon's failed as well. But other than that, that was the Jacksonville Mudfest freestyle. Now your overall is still, and I swear to God,
Yeah,
is Tyler Meninga and Gravedigger with 33 points. However, Blake Granger and Max D was close right there and finished second with the overall with 31 points. So what did you guys think of the last stadium show for Stadium East before we head on to our monster truck version of Spring Break? Snofagen, what did you think?
Jacksonville, as a whole, it was quite the mud fest. It is a very historic stadium for most of them to go to, and very rarely do they have any rain or any mud in that matter. But drivers gave it a good showing for a mud show.
Dorsey, your thoughts?
yeah, and I think Blake Ranger definitely proved why he should be on a full stadium tour like that. He completely he crushed it in that mud show, and Tyler now has 13 of the 16 overalls now so far. That's honestly ridiculous, and that's probably like the most any driver has actually won.
All right, now we'll finally get on to the better stadium show, and that is Stadium West. Another banger of a show. And what an awesome weekend they had down there in Texas once again. In the UTEP Sun Bowl Stadium for two shows. Now we'll start off with Charlie Palkin is back once again driving for Adam Anderson. Now your racing winner was Ryan Anderson defeating Colt Stevens and Thunder Royers. This is Saturday night. Your show one skills challenge is Gravedigger's Charlie Palkin with a 9.083. And your freestyle winner is also Charlie Palkin and Gravedigger after having a hard and controversial time in Arlington after he got shot off for hitting the container. What seems a bit too hard. He got himself some redemption. Not only that, James Kohler and Avenger actually showed up too. So we got the old school guys showing the new school how to do it, and Chuck and Jim showed them how to do just that. And then your overall winner was Charlie Pocket and Gravedigger with a total of 33 points. And actually, funny enough, the last time Charlie Pocket has driven Gravedigger before Arlington was also El Paso 2020. And now we come back full circle where he came back to El Paso driving Gravedigger, and this time 35. And funny enough, on the website, for they don't have a driver card for Charlie. Well, they do, but it's Megalodon, right? They they showed his picture from the awards, and I believe from Roll Finals 20 for Crash Madness. So they're using that picture for his overall. Now we'll go on to show two. Your racing winner is Ryan Anderson once again, defeating Chris Kohler and Monster Mutt. Your skills winner is Ryan Anderson. Your freestyle winner is Chris Kohler and Monster Mutt. However, your first time overall winner is Chris Kohler and Monster Mutt with 31 points. So, boys, we had a great weekend in El Paso. What did you think? I'll start off with Navajan.
El Paso was pretty cool to watch. Both shows. Another stadium that Monster Jam's been going to for a long time. It's definitely has one of the best views in all of Monster Jam. Had mountains around it. But yeah, great shows in Sun Bowl Stadium for all the drivers on Stadium Series West. And next show for them, points wise, is Birmingham.
Now, Dorsey, what do you think of Stadium West this last weekend?
El Paso was a fun time. Ryan Anderson still proving why he's probably the best stadium racer. He's now 47-6 in racing, and uh, just seeing Charlie Pauken drive like he's in his prime, getting a ton of wins. Jim Kohler coming out in that first show, he was first out in freestyle as well, and he hanged on to that lead until Hawking came out. I think Jim had I think he did a consecutive backflip, if I'm not wrong. But he went out first, got a 9.3, and almost won the whole thing. And of course, Chris Kohler getting his first overall, the thing that he's been chasing to get. It's very cool to see.
And now we've pointed it out before, and especially Dorsey he says that Stadium West is the better stadium show over Stadium East. And honestly, I can't even disagree. I really just agree. We have different overall winners. So we have different competition winners over just basically almost every week. And a lot of people say that Tyler Meninga has legendary status. I say he doesn't, but this person does, and that is Ryan Anderson, and he proves that each and every week behind the wheel of Son of Digger or Grave Digger, as of this weekend's case.
Yeah, that's happening right now. Man, I will say one thing. Tyler does not have legendary status because the GOAT Dalton Widener just took home an overall right now.
Let's go.
That's what I'm saying.
Knoxville, man.
We'll talk about that next weekend.
Yeah, we'll cover that next weekend. No, actually, not for Jen. Knoxville, man. How do you feel about him?
How about who is it?
Knoxville, man.
Oh, Knoxville man, Dalton Weiner. He's on a roll right now. I'll tell you what. Glad to see him picking up some trophies.
Yeah, so El Paso looked like an awesome time as always. Stadium West will be going on. Well, actually, as of this week, is on their spring break as well. Starting off with a couple arena shows. They'll be back in Birmingham, as of which Nafigen will be going to. Is that right?
That's right. I'll be checking out the Stadium Tour West at the first Monster Jam event at Protective Stadium and the first stadium event in Alabama.
That is right. So that is all the jam shows we had this past weekend for week 10. And now we had quite a lot of stuff to cover. Now we'll move on to the stuff we have to cover next weekend. Starting off with the independent shows, Hot Wheels Monster Truck Live will be in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Budapest. That is a crazy place to be in. Straight Up Racing will be in Winnemucca, Nevada. Your lineup will include the Cali Kid, driven by Travis Ibarra and Bill Payne, Identity Theft, or as we call it, Grave Digger, with Marvin Anderson, Napa Auto Parts with Carson Williams, Rockstar with Bill Payne, Spitfire with Dallas Glenn Rogers, and Titan with an awesome new look this weekend with Donald Epidenio. And then we also have the Monster X Tour in Morganton, North Carolina. Your lineup includes Boss Gator with Austin Spence, Monster Patrol Ashton Torgerson, Quad Chaos Byron Cadigan, and Tommy Veralone, or with Rampage. And then we also have the Monster Truck Rally Live. That is quite the name. In Bakersfield, California, your lineup will include Cyclops, driven by Terry Woodcock, Shocker and Pat Gerber making its return, Terminator with Tyler Rome, and Unnamed and Untamed with Juan Munoz behind the wheel. And then we also have the Monster Truck Thunder in Victorville, California. Now there's only 2 trucks here in the spreadsheet I'm reading off of, but it's supposed to be 4, I guess, but only 2. I can see here is Eric Swanson and Obsessed, and pretty obsessed with Misha Ferris. And then we also have the 2X Monster Trucks Live Tour, same lineup as always, in Lucama, North Carolina, I believe it's how it's pronounced. And then we also have Monster Truck Wars in Texas. You have weird names. Seguin, Texas, and Midland, Texas. And then we also have Monster Truck Nitro Tour, which our friend, the Zone of Monsters himself, in the Zone of Monsters down there in Yuma, Arizona. Your lineup includes Geronimo with Brandon Swick, Misfit with Gabe Montoya, Rat Attack with Jacob Ladwick, and Double Trouble. I don't know who the driver is there. We'll find out next week. We have also the Monster Truck Nitro Tour in Jonesboro, Arkansas, with Barely Tame with Mike Rowley, Carolina Crusher with Cameron Tweedy, Jurassic Attack with Tim Hall Jr., Kamikaze with Logan Tweedy, and Quad Chaos with Brett Falvey. Then we also have the All-Star Monster Truck Tour this weekend in Shelby, North Carolina, close to wrapping up their point series. Same lineup as always. And then we also had Toughest Monster Truck Tour in Lafayette, Louisiana. Same lineup as always, now including the Albino Tailgater. And then we also have the Jam Show starting off with San Jose, Costa Rica. Starting off with the Amazing Spider-Man with Bernard Light, Black Panther Barney Musauer, El Torloco with Chelsea Van Cleve, Gravedigger with Matt Cody, Iron Man and Brandon Arthur, Blake Granger out there getting a couple wins last night with Max D, Charlie Bucket and Megalodon, and Miranda Kozad with Thor. And then also have Albuquerque, New Mexico, Stadium West's Spring Break starting right here this weekend. And starting off with Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid, Ryan Anderson and Gravedigger, Corey Romo and Megalodon, Massimo Chris Kohler, Soldier Fortune Caleb Blood, Thunder Warriors Colt Stevens, Velociraptor Dave Alford, and Vendetta with Mike Christensen. We also have Arena Central in Toledo, Ohio. Same lineup as always, and this is 4 points. Biloxi, Mississippi. This is Arena East, and this is now 4 points as well, with Cody Saucier in Dragon now back in the lineup, as well as Angelina Knock and Megalodon. And then we also have Fresno, California. Same lineup as always. Now the big picture here is that Tyler Meninga is taking over for Matt Cody, I believe for a couple weeks, because he will be driving Lincoln, Nebraska as well. So that is all the shows we have this weekend, and we don't have to go through the overalls. We don't actually have to pick any overalls because we already might as well just missed a few. But we did see that Dalton Weiner did pick up one just recently. And I believe, well, we don't really have to go through them anymore. But next weekend, we will be back to doing that. So that is all these shows we have this weekend. So that is all the shows we have this weekend, I mean. But then how are you guys feeling so far about this weekend?
Nothing too special. Just we just have a bunch of arenas going on. The international tour just started, so it's great to see the Marvel trucks back at it again. And seems like it was a weird stadium at the least. I don't think we even talked about that. How the Costa Rica stadium was laid out.
Really? Yes.
Yes,
The
just
ring track. Good.
yeah, just mostly arenas this weekend, and the international tour, of course, starting.
Now, as we see now we'll talk about the track for Costa Rica here pretty quickly. It is basically what I like to call a ring track because it's surrounding the grass field in the stadium. As we'll pull up a picture here. So we've seen this track back in 2018, and this is the first time since they've been back. And now the difference here is that they've done the racing here quite a little bit different. They're only doing basically just half the track. They'll start off from one end and just finish at the other end, or finish at the half of the track. Where in 2018 they did one whole entire lap around. So I'll start off with Dorzy. What are your thoughts on the ring track?
Yeah, I don't know. The thing that I saw videos on, it looked a bit awkward just seeing the trucks trying to go across the other side, but you had ramps literally on all four sides, like a square, like what you said, and I don't know, it's something different, but it's also very awkward. It seems like they're not getting a lot of height off of them.
And now, Virginia, your thoughts?
It's a big old monster jam donut. That's what it is, or a ring, whatever you want to call it. The racing format, I really do not have a problem with it. I mean, they're doing their best with all the track they have, like, and they're closing out a lot of the middle of the track. You know, that first time they did it in Beijing, China, they closed off a little bit of the middle of the track so they're able to go around do Chicago style. This time in Costa Rica, the ramps are really spread out to the far edges of the track. So doing the best they can with the area that they're able to use, and it is just a unique setup, but very strange, to say the least.
Right. And if anyone remembers Beijing 2017, I don't know what else. Have a cookie, I guess. But that's we'll move on. Well, now we'll just cover all the upcoming show or this weekend shows this next weekend or next week. I mean, but that was quite a week. We had one Mudfest and one awesome show in El Paso, and I believe that'll be the end here of this episode. Happening right now, and as of just last night, your winners, or actually the SDSL World Finals Season 7 World Finals, is going on tonight and tomorrow, or if you're watching on YouTube today, as of the release on this video on Sunday. Uh, but so far, our winners for the first competitions of day one of the World Finals 7 in BMG Nashville, Tennessee. Can't pull them up here. Actually, let me pull up in pretty much just quickly. All right, here we go. So your winners of the day one, and I just saw them. Okay, your winners of the day one World Finals. Your World Final 7 high jump champion is Bulla. And then we also, for your skills champion, it is Ride Dog and Thunder Roars. And your Wow Factor champion, it is once again Bulla. So congratulations to those guys. Day two, uh, uh, best of luck to the guys out there. And then day three, best of luck to the guys out there as well. But that's pretty much it. You guys don't have anything else to talk about?
Nope.
I think we got it covered.
All right. And so that was week 10, or as we like to call it, Hot Seat Week. Hopefully, Kurt Kramer can pick up another one, hopefully, this weekend. But that was week 10. And as always, where can we find you guys at, starting off with Dorsey?
Yeah, you can find me at Dorsey102Rs on Instagram and YouTube. And I'm currently just going through Steel Titans 2, just showing off the maps one last time, because that game's about to be dead.
Yeah, we'll talk about more on that one more time, probably next weekend as well, because we're going to probably send off that game with one last season with it before we move on to Showdown, probably this summer or fall, hopefully in the fall, fingers crossed. Nafagen, you're at.
You can find me at Nuffigen on Instagram and YouTube.
All right, and then for your
That's
host,
nice.
For your host with the most, I am Lane_Flores2 on Instagram and Lane Flores Mora on YouTube. And then don't forget to follow the STSL Off the Track account on Instagram, and don't forget to follow the main account, Steel Time Sports League, also on Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe to us here on YouTube. Don't forget to pick up some merch that'll be provided down in the links in the description down below. But then that was an awesome weekend here for week 10, and now we can't wait to see what week 11 will bring. That was week 10. This was STSL Off the Track.
Kurt Kramer.
Oh boy.